Welcome everyone. Today we have our another new episode, and we will discuss on this democracy and present situation in between India and Bangladesh. We have our friend Mr. Shujit Kumar from India. So definitely in the global talent shows, we have some question about democracy, policy, and other things.
Hi.
So, Mr. Shujit, I come to you. I have a very specific question. What does democracy mean in the context of Bangladesh and India?
When we consider democracy in the literal word, we consider the similar things in both India and Bangladesh. The only problem is, I think, actually, if we consider that democratic and context, both India and Bangladesh were following it till recently. Till the problem literally started, I think, when the Gen Z movement started in Bangladesh. And see, the one problem we are having probably from both the consideration of the both the countries, lack of communication between the both the countries, especially lack of people-to-people communication nowadays. And if we consider people-to-people relations, since I'm present in Eastern India, which we are very near to Bangladesh border, we think that and there are lots of Bangladeshi citizens into our state. As a people-to-people relation, it's really good, especially into Eastern India and the Bangladesh part.
Um, Thank you. My next question for, as you discuss about Gen Z, why is the youth participation for is important, you think, for strengthen democracy, and what is the present condition in India, how they see about this Gen Z involvement, and what we can do together?
See, actually, if we consider the development, whatever happened into last 15 years across the world, the elite society, the ruling community, it is moving from, especially from aged people to the young, and till now, in most of the countries, it was the elite people who were controlling the uh, we can say that ruling circle across the countries. I think in South Asia, the changes happened in earlier into 2014 into India, when the ruling class shifted completely from elite uh, to that very different background, like our prime minister who came from a completely different background. Similarly, the changes happened into Nepal, where the ruling class who was managed by the elite people, uh, they were not able to perform, considering the aspiration of the youth of their country. Similarly, if we consider the scenario of Bangladesh, majority of the time Bangladesh was ruled by the elite people, especially, and the power was mostly concentrated into a very limited circle, whether into the Bangladesh National Party or the Awami League, and apart from the few of the duration where the military was also ruling the country. Problem started happening when since they these rural side, we can say that since the ruler class came from the elite, they had their own agenda. It did not match to the aspiration of the youths of the country, whether it is India or Bangladesh or the Nepal. There are lots of economic changes happen. While I will tell you from the Indian context how we look Bangladesh in last 10 years. Till the time we saw the Sheikh Hasina as the Prime Minister of the Bangladesh, we saw the Bangladesh was evolving into a very uh, competitive country, and especially into the textile sector, leather sector. I would say that during the Sheikh Hasina regime, we used to find almost more than 90% textile and the leather products into the Indian retail space, which are made from Bangladesh. This situation is changing now. Yeah, this situation is changing now. We were considering Bangladesh as a very uh, in fact, economically growing country. Even the per capita income of Bangladesh had increased to more than India. Lots of indexes showing that the economy of Bangladesh was improving, but somehow it did not percolate to the across the country. Maybe the youths had a certain kind of aspiration which didn't get fulfilled. So, if we want any of the country to survive, especially in the long term, and especially to as a democracy, we need to identify how and what are the aspiration of youths currently. See, the aspiration of youths are getting changes from day to day, era to era. Like currently, if I consider currently in the AI era, if there was not the if there was not the problem happening which had happened a couple of months back, we were seeing lots of Bangladeshi startup doing we are doing well into the area of AI, blockchain, textile, and other related areas. Since now in the current situation, it is not happening. All the industries are going down. Youths are, especially the educated youths, are trying to migrate to the different countries and some other area. So youths play a very important role into any of the country, especially into South Asia.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My next question. My next question: how have young people contribute to the democratic movement in Bangladesh history, and how India can play a role to overcome from this challenging situation?
To last 50 years, we knew that especially Bangladesh youth had played a very important role right from the 71 when the Bangladesh was created as a country, and India from day one it has helped Bangladesh to become a very strong country. So, and since we share a very long border, we share, and it is not just that we share our border, we also share our culture. We share our ancestors. We also share lots our water with everything. We can't say that what we can't share. Like India and Bangladesh, almost we are like we are brother. So India has actually can help Bangladesh, but in the current context, when the Bangladesh is the going through the various transitioning stage, I think the Indian government or India has only a very limited role to play. And before playing any role, India should try to understand what is the aspiration of the Bangladeshi youth. We cannot just play any kind of role into any countries nowadays. So there need to be a mode of communication, and there need to be a mode of channel between the youth to youth or the government to youths of the other countries before playing any kind of role.
Thank you. So, as you discuss about the challenging situations in between Bangladesh and India, how we can overcome from these challenging situations, and how we India can help Bangladesh to go for a better democratic system.
See, I believe Bangladesh is already has a very clear democratic or uh, uh, democratic system into in comparison to other countries like Pakistan and Nepal. Even I consider the democracy of Bangladesh is much more stronger than Nepal, as Bangladesh has always had a stronger government. If we ignore one or two incident where the government were toppled through the movements. So the only way India and Bangladesh can help each other. I think I'm not saying that India can influence Bangladesh or Bangladesh can influence, but now there is a need between both the countries, where both the countries can come closer, uh, create a channel where news can be exchanged between both the countries into real sense. And and it is much more important because since the kind of violence it is happening to Bangladesh, I'm not sure how it whether it is getting published into right or wrong context in India. So we need to create a channel where we need to identify how we are going to communicate between both the neighbors.
Thank you. My next question for you, social media playing a major role. How through the social media we can go for more awareness, more positive relationships, and what's your thought?
Democracy into any of the country. We have seen right from 2014 election uh, in India to uh, current state and other elections. I'm not sure how much access Bangladesh youth have of the social media in their own countries. India has the benefit of one of the provider of cheapest internet provider for the youth. I'm not sure how much. So if the internet can be spread to almost to every corner of the Bangladesh, people should be able to create a group and it can start communicating what they actually want. The problem currently, I believe, in Bangladesh is people were not able to identify, or people like how the current regime is different, and or whether the movement which they have done to change the government, whether they have achieved the goal which they wanted or not.
Uh, Thank you. As there are a lot of new youth organizations, so what's your thought? How this, what role do student organization play in promoting democracy?
See, actually, uh, I have a very different role when considering to consider the role of a student organization. I'm not sure, like if I consider my own example of, since I have also studied into a central university in India, and I have also participated into and observed student movements and student unions very closely. I would say that uh, our social structure, our democracy has still not at into a strong position where a student organization can play their a very concrete or focused role into a democracy. They are bound to be manipulated. Students across the South Asia are getting manipulated. It is better a student union should get banned into from the universities now, especially where the role of education is not where the standard of education is not very high.
Thank you. My last questions like how we can encourage the government and institutions to encourage greater youth engagement in democracy, and what's your closing remarks for today?
We need to understand that when we want youths to engage for the democracy, how we want, how we are looking to identify what kind of influence we are looking from youth to for the democracy. From my perspective, as of now, that a student should be asked about the kind of role they would like to play in the society, about in the making of the society, making of the country. Their role should be limited as of now to the development of technology, access of the books, library, and educational institutions 24 hour across the country. Apart from that, student organizations should not be involved in more into the politics side.
Thank you everyone for joining today's sessions. I request everyone to share our today's sessions. Thank you, Mr. Shojit, and thank you everyone.